In this video, I'm finally gonna be demonstrating and reviewing the Mytee Lite 8070 heated carpet extractor. What's going on, and welcome back to the Wilson Auto Detailing community. If you're new here, don't be insane. Hit the subscribe button if you love everything auto detailing. Okay, you guys can see behind me, I got my carpet extractor. It's the Mytee Lite 8070. It's a heated carpet extractor. It's about between $13 and $1,400, so it's not cheap, but let's just say in the auto detailing world, you get what you pay for. So, number one, I'm gonna show you guys how it works, the parts of it, how it connects, how to use it. Number two, I wanna show you guys the interior of the vehicle I'm cleaning right now. It's a Toyota Camry. It is probably the dirtiest car that I have detailed in the last 6 months, so this is a perfect scenario. And then I wanna actually demonstrate it and show you guys how it can extract these cloth suede seats as well as the carpet. All right, so you guys can see I got my VX5000 here next to it for what we're gonna be doing. My steamer, and I got it covered because it's kind of sprinkling outside. It's not a pretty day to be detailing, but nevertheless, here we are powering through mobile auto detailing. So here it is. It is made, number one, of seriously durable plastic, okay? And normally I wouldn't point something like this out, but it is very, 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 let's just say well made. If this got dropped or if I push it over, if I'm rough with it, nothing's gonna happen to it, all right? It's very, very hard plastic. All right, so it comes with 4 wheels. We got 2 caster wheels in front as well. And let me show you guys where you actually start to use this thing. So this blue tank here is where the water goes in, all right? I simply fill it up with hose water, tap water, not a big deal, all right? The black tank up here is where the waste reservoir is going to be. This is what you're gonna empty out after you're done. And so you simply unscrew this, the water's gonna pour out. I actually don't have it, but Mytee also packs with this same unit a tube that you can connect here. That way when you do empty it, it doesn't run down onto these, onto the back, but the buttons are waterproof. They're sealed in with these plastic pieces here, so that's not gonna be an issue even if you don't use that, alrighty? So clean water, dirty water. Now, of course, the hose, the vacuum hose hookup right here is up top, and then the water hookup down here is with this little these brass pieces down here, all right? Now, you have a ton of length here, let's just put it that way, a lot of feet with the vacuum hose, alrighty? Comes all the way down to the head, and you guys can see you've got a plastic head here, but again, though it's plastic, it's very, very durable, alright? You can see the Mytee logo there. It's extremely durable, so I know you guys can't feel it through a video, but just telling you in person here, the plastic, again, super durable and looks very, very nice. Now, of course, you see the trigger down here where the water's gonna come out at the brass end there, and then, of course, the vacuum piece right there, kind of looks like teeth. So tons of length with the hose, no worries there. Let me show you the back real fast. You've got all your buttons back here, vacuum, pump, and heater. Number one button, the first button you push is gonna be the pump, alrighty? Then you wanna prime the pump, meaning you want to squeeze the trigger down at the head and let the water flow through for, I like to do it for like 20 to 30 seconds. You don't have to do that, okay? But that's just me being OCD. Prime the pump, bring the water through. Then you can hit the heater. It's gonna take a second to heat up, however, it doesn't take very long. Then when I'm ready to extract, I'm gonna hit vacuum, and there we go. We're about to extract with hot water. So let's go ahead and take a look at the seats and the carpet of the Toyota Camry I'm dealing with. Now, it's important to note that I have already vacuumed, but you guys can see this is the impossible carpeting. Generally, I would not be extracting the impossible carpeting, but because this is so deeply kind of twisted into the fabric of the impossible carpeting down here, I'm going to have to approach it this way. So what I'm gonna do is hit it with a chemical cleaner. I'm gonna scrub with my steamer, and then I'm going to extract. I'm probably gonna have to do that several times. But part of my strategy here is to get some of this kind of dirt wet so that it kind of turns into mud, and then it can be sucked up through the extractor. Again, I would not always approach a situation like this, but this car is so disgusting and so dirty, I cannot physically, it's not possible to vacuum this up. I could brush, use a drill brush, all this stuff all day long. Unless I extract it, I'm not going to get it to the point I want it to be at. So let's go ahead and look at the suede seats. Again, these are suede. Some detailers or some people online are gonna say, don't extract suede. That's simply not true. I've extracted these seats before, and I'm gonna do it again. I extract suede on a very regular basis, and this can really, you don't need to overthink it. It's gonna react much the same as just the newer fabrics in the cloth seats that Toyota's putting in their kind of entry-level vehicles will react. The approach is basically the same as any sort of cloth seat, all right? I'm not gonna scrub super hard, but I am gonna chemically clean, steam it, and then and maybe just use a drill brush. But you guys can see the seats are very dirty, as well as the carpet. Let me go ahead and move to the front here, and you guys can see the driver's seat. Alrighty, very dirty, very stained. Might not be able to pick it up all in the camera. Sometimes the camera over flatters or under flatters certain areas. But you guys can see, I mean, this is a dirty car, and it actually, compared to what it did look like, looks relatively good now because I've done basically everything and detailed everything except for the seats, the cloth, the carpet, and the windows. So basically every other area looks very, very nice. So I just want to give you guys kind of a holistic view of what condition this is in real fast. Lots of staining. Definitely gonna be a good subject to review the Extractor on. All right, here's the passenger seat. There you go. Give you a couple different angles there. And then I'll show you the carpet down here. And again, I know it looks like it doesn't, I haven't vacuumed yet, but again, when you have this impossible carpeting and all this sand and dirt specifically that's been here for, gosh, well over a year now, this is kind of the extent of what vacuuming will do. So let's go ahead and start treating the interior. All right, guys, so I'm starting with the carpets in the back here, and here's what I'm going to do, all right? I've got my all-purpose cleaner in here. More or less, to be honest with you, I'm going to soak these carpets. The idea here is that because this is a rat's nest of fibers, it's not traditional carpeting, there's a rat's nest of fibers that's very difficult to get these tiny pieces out. There's an element of kind of soaking the carpet to make the cleaner and the water encapsulate this dirt and bring it to the top and be sucked up with the Extractor. So I'm gonna be real liberal with the all-purpose cleaner, okay? I'm gonna spray, I'm showing you guys only right here, but of course I'm gonna get under the seat as well and all these areas, but I'm gonna be very, again, very liberal with it. So, all right, so now that the carpet is soaked in this cleaner, I'm gonna take my steamer. I'm gonna put two different heads on. I'm gonna brush it with one nylon head. That heat tends to loosen up the fibers, makes it a little bit easier. It's also, of course, going to clean it as it steams, make the chemical more, sometimes even stronger, work a little bit more efficiently. Then, of course, I'm gonna be blowing out some of these cracks and crevices, and then we'll move to extracting. Okay, so I just want to give you guys a quick look at the carpet here. It is, again, it got soaked in the cleaner, and I just steamed it really, really heavily. Again, blew out all the areas, so my goal here is, you know, it gets a little messy, but you guys can see the, especially the corners here. It's very, very, what would I call, natural for that part specifically to be stained. What I'm going to do now that the heater on the Extractor is heated up, it's all primed, and I'm simply going to turn the vacuum on, and I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna speed this up, I'm just gonna let you guys see it in real time. Okay, so I want to give you guys the initial look afterwards. Now, a couple things to understand. Number one, it is not, all the crumbs and stuff are not going to be taken up and taken care of through one pass of the extractor. In fact, the extractor's job is not even to suck up crumbs, right? So I'm gonna have to take my steamer and a microfiber towel and kind of blow out some more of these areas to be even more detailed, because there are some spaces, if you can see, where there's still, you know, stuff that's not going to come out with an extractor because of this stupid impossible carpeting. However, you guys see those results are, number one, amazing. Number two, it's important to note the impossible carpeting is not traditional carpeting, and so using a traditional carpet extractor is not the purpose of me using the extractor here. Is again to kind of float some of that stuff out of the fibers. It's not to remove stains and stuff like that. Now on the seats, I'm going to be using it to remove stains, but here again the purpose is I'm trying to get these crumbs out of here, and so I'm kind of using the extractor in a non-traditional way here, but I mean, it looks amazing. Now, a couple notes with the extractor real fast. Number one, the suction power is ridiculously strong. It is awesome. Number two, the water is extremely hot. You're not gonna be able to hold your hand to it, okay? It would definitely burn your hand. Number three, the water pressure really makes a difference, because these higher level extractors, like the Mytee 8070 here, the pressure is so strong that it kind of, I don't know, it makes your life so much easier, much less scrubbing, much less kind of agitation has to take place, because that water pressure is hitting the fibers of the carpet and the fabric so hard. At the same time though, it's not producing too much water where you're gonna kind of mold upholstery and kind of create a bigger problem for yourself. So absolutely incredible so far. What I want to do is go ahead and finish the carpets, and I'll film that, speed this up, and then I want to take you guys in for the seats. I think it might give us a better look at this extractor. Okay guys, so carpets are done. I'm gonna go ahead and take you around now. A quick note here, there's gonna be a lot of debris like on the surface of the carpet because of the steamer blowing things out, things coming back up, and I do a final vacuum at the end, so just pay no attention to the debris, okay? This is the driver's side, and you can see I wanna make a few notes here after it's been steamed, chemically cleaned, and extracted. You can see here that right here where the left foot rests, there's still a tiny bit of staining, but almost virtually gone around there. Yes, there's a little bit of discoloration here along the edge where the mat meets basically where the carpet is no longer covered by the mat. That's very standard. And a lot of times it's hard to tell what's discolored and faded or what's actually stained. Down here you guys can see that this is pretty much gonna stay this way. I'm gonna blow it out a little bit more and brush it out a little bit more to get the crumbs, but the like brown staining here, I flooded it with the extractor, and that's not gonna be fixed. But again, when you're dealing with the impossible carpeting, because there's nothing underneath it, it's just basically like stretched felt, and there's no like kind of sponge material underneath it. You're not dealing with traditional carpeting, so seats are gonna be a little bit better for as far as reviewing the extractor, but I wanted you guys to see this. So there's my little brother there. Hey, okay. All right, let's check out the back seats here. The back carpets here. Again, you see all that debris and those crumbs, but that's gonna go away. Show you guys back here as well. And after a vacuum, again, it's gonna look a lot better, of course. But I'll show you the passenger side lastly. And that is where we're at with this extremely neglected car. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to the seats. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a different approach with the suede, because suede tends to age a little bit faster over time, so I try to be like kind of least aggressive to most aggressive. So I'm not gonna use the steamer. I'm going to use a drill brush. Whoops. I'm gonna use a drill brush. My bristles are a little askew from where they were sitting. And that chemical all-purpose cleaner that I was using addressed the suede here, as well as the leather, and basically use this as a good little review of the extractor. All right, so I'm gonna be, again, pretty liberal with the cleaner and just not holding back, really. And with seats, yes, you need to be a little bit more cautious as far as how much liquid you're using, but it's not something you need to be overly cautious about, okay? Right there. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and use the drill brush, show you guys this in real time. Okay, and I like to spray a little top coat of the cleaner before I use the extractor. Again, because I do have the benefit of using a heated carpet extractor in this case, a steamer is really not necessary. And with this particular suede and this particular fabric, because I've treated it before and it's been a long time since I do know how it reacts with the extractor. So here we go, this is gonna be real time as well. Now, of course, I'm not wanting to extract too much, but again, with an extractor that is kind of this nice, it's gonna control the portion of water that it's spraying. So I do have kind of a dummy control just using this extractor in and of itself, but I'm gonna go over this one more time and then really dry it a lot. Okay, now that that's done, I'm gonna do the top here, and you can take a towel and I tuck it into the crease here, and that way any water that falls down just falls down onto this towel. It doesn't get where I just cleaned. So let's go ahead and do the same exact thing, same exact process here. I'm not gonna speed any of this up. So I know this is a longer video, but hey, good content. Okay, so I just want to show you the finished product here. I wiped it down with a microfiber towel and cleaned the leather. About to go do the rest of the cloth, but just wanted you guys to see what it looked like here before I start doing the rest. I also want you guys to be able to see this extractor in action. So here we go. Okay, so here's the finished seating here, and I'll go to the carpet and the seats actually so you guys can see here. Pull back a little bit. And so we got the seat here, and of course the leather is done as well as the cloth, and the back seat as well here. We'll go to the carpet. And of course, this is vacuum, so there's still some like crumbs and dust here and there because it's the impossible fabric and you just cannot, unless you literally spend all day, it's not gonna be made perfect. So I can kind of come in here and you can see how in this like rat's nest of fibers, you got some of these things like really embedded. And again, that just comes into like communicating with your customer, figuring out how to kind of explain what that is without, and kind of explaining that it's not a detailing issue necessarily as it is like a car that's not being maintenance issue. So you can see that there's still some like discoloration and staining here, particularly where you sit. And I think it speaks to a couple different things. Number one, it doesn't really have anything to do with the extractor that was used. This is an issue with the material and then the fact that the car is never really maintained. So when something like that is sitting there for, you know, well over a year, and you have kids getting in and out who are, you know, playing sports and all this sort of stuff, no matter how much you steam it, you know, chemically clean it and extract it, it's going to stay like that, right? So while it can be like 60, 70, maybe 90% improved, generally speaking, it's not ever perfected. So it really, again, does not speak to the quality of the steamer. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. All right, so here's behind the passenger seat. You guys can see the carpet there. And then again, you see where the kids sit down and stuff. Yes, it was extracted a ton. You guys saw the video in live action and real time and in sped up a little bit. But again, while it's like improved, it's not going to be perfected. And again, it's not really an extracting problem as much as it is a maintaining the car problem. But you guys got to see how well this Mytee 8070 Lite heated carpet extractor works. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. I just wanted to review this because I'm going to be putting this extractor into a lot of the future videos that you guys are going to be seeing where I have to extract, because it's just a really, really high level extractor. And one other note that I'd like to make real quick, because the extractor shoots out the water at a really kind of like a much higher pressure than like a lower level or less expensive extractor, it kind of atomizes the water, and when you do that, it makes cleaning a lot easier. It kind of, it's not the same and it's not apples to apples, but it's kind of like when you put a little screen in front of your spray bottle that makes the chemical foam. Sometimes when you can make a chemical foam, you end up getting a better cleaning ability. It's kind of the same thing with this. When you kind of hit it at that high pressure, kind of like a pressure washer, you end up having kind of a lot of air almost in the water because of the amount of pressure and air you're having to use to force it out. Again, it kind of atomizes the water and it ends up making your cleaning ability a lot better, but at the same time, you're not oversaturating any area. So let me show you guys what came out, and we'll empty out the waste tank. So once again, you just pull open this knob here, and that is that. I actually emptied it just a tad bit beforehand, but yeah, there you go. So if you guys want to get your hands on this extractor, I will hook up an Amazon link below to this one specifically so that you guys can check it out. If you use my Amazon links, it does give this channel a small commission, but it helps this channel stay alive so I can keep putting out content just like this. Listen, I will also hook up a link to my website where I talk about extractors and kind of the difference between needing them and wanting them and when you should buy them, when you shouldn't buy them. And there's a ton of links to different Mytee specific extractors on that page as well, so definitely check out that link below. If you love everything auto detailing and you're new here, consider subscribing. And as always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.